You guys, we're back. All 52 podcast. Sean, Javon. Man, football's over. I don't know about you, Javon. College basketball is picking up. Got to talk about the All-Star game. We texted throughout that. What's good, man?
Not much. Hey, listen, I'll tell you what. NBA gets the All-Star break. We get a little bit of a break. Instead of going on Tuesday this week, we went on Thursday. And I'm glad we waited because I don't know. The news cycle is just. I have not been wrong in a good little while when I say, hold on. I feel like something else might come up this week. Let's hold back a day or two on the show. Then it happened again. So I don't know, man. Let's get to it.
All right, let's get right to it. All right, so the injury report. So big injuries in college basketball. North Carolina, BYU, Texas Tech, University. They all lost big formidable players in their rotation. What's this do to those three teams? Because Caleb Wilson's out for a month, JT Toppin's done for the season, and Richie Saunders is done for the season. What does this mean for those three teams and other teams going forward?
Well, without Caleb Wilson, I think we're going to be looking at a Tar Heels team that's very similar to the ones that look like the ones that make us say Hubert Davis can't be in Chapel Hill anymore. And we saw that Tuesday night against NC State. I mean, Wolfpack smelled blood in the water. Quadir Copeland was so hyped knowing Caleb Wilson was out that he was sitting at half court waiting for the Tar Heels to toss some crap. He might want to calm down, to be honest with you. That's going to be a 2-year G League, go overseas. And the only time we're going to be hearing from him is at the Danny Rumpf Classic every summer. So I would really calm down if I were Quadir Copeland, because he thinks he's a point guard. I got news for you about that. The next level, they are picking poor Robin clean. Those cookies. But they smell blood in the water in Chapel Hill right now. And Tuesday night was not good. I didn't think Carolina would lose that game by more than 8, like the spread said, but I knew it was possible, so I took the under. The under was like coming up on 160. I'm like, all right. No, it was 156, I want to say. Yeah. I'm like, all right. State might get to 78. Nothing more than that. Carolina damn sure ain't getting to 78. So that was a very smart bet on mine. But that's a team that can go on a real slump in this final month of the season. If he can't come back for the tournament, and we know that's a very strong possibility because these kids are, go ahead and sit out for the NBA draft.
Yeah.
It can get real scary in Carolina. For Texas Tech, I mean, JT, that's their whole interior presence right there. It's not like Federico's there anymore for the rim protection and all. Like JT Toppin does so much for that team. And it's just when you need it, you know who to give the ball to. So they're going to have to change their style of play. And we shall see. And Richie Saunders at BYU. That is a Cougars team that started the season 3-1. And after last night, they've gone 3-6 since. And he is a big part of keeping that team together. He was the floor spacer for Rob Wright and AJ DeBanza. Without him, I mean, that's a team. I'll be honest with you, pretty soon it's time to stop putting BYU in the AP pool. That's a team that can end up
first weekend
to a double-digit seed in a first weekend exit. Seriously. And got to look at the DeBanza for that. I know you're in a tough conference, but what you think you're playing in the NBA? What's you know what I mean? So that's why I keep trending toward, a Darren Peterson. But, I mean, that brother has to actually want to play some basketball. I mean, 18 minutes in the first half, 18 minutes total, I think, last night. Played 2.5 minutes in the second half. Hey, coach, I'm cramping up. And sit out. What really is the deal?
I don't get it because if you think about it, his spot is secure. He's going to be number 1 or number 2, depending on who the team is and if you like him. I think he should be number 1, but I just don't get if you're not going to play and it's all these cramping issues. First of all, you're at Kansas. You have some of the best medical staffs ever, and they can't get this cramping issue correct. Is he not hydrating or like? I'm just confused about it because it seems like it's just not.
Apollo had this injury, the cramping issue.
He did,
but he didn't miss nearly as much time as Peterson. Because the Peterson is more than cramp. It's always something.
There's something, and my concerns are like it seems like it's lower leg issues and stuff like that. I don't know. I still take him number 1. I gotta say this. It had me thinking. I had to bring this up. I know we don't really mess with Kendrick Perkins over this under the show, but he did say he was like, "Hey, if any of these guys generational," and I the more I see them, I'm like, I like the talent, but if Cooper Flag was in this draft, I would take Cooper Flag number 1 still.
Hindsight's 2020.
No. I would take Cooper Flag number 1. He was supposed to be in this draft actually.
He was.
Yeah.
I can't believe you quoted Kendrick Perkins on this show.
No, it was just something I thought.
Hold on, Sean. Hold on. After he sat up there and said, AJ the Banter ain't doing nothing different than what Brandon Miller did at Alabama. And them two don't play the same.
They don't play at all. Same. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
And you know Kendrick Perkins ain't watched a college basketball game probably in his life.
Probably. Yeah. Good point.
So, come on. Let's make that the last time we mention him on this podcast.
That's why I preface it with the way I did say it. But I see your point. But my point is, I think Peterson's already number 1. DeVance's number 2. I'll backtrack. But I do have concerns about Peterson in that aspect. It's like, do you want to play or not? He's still going to go number 1 in my book. BYU, I'll do reverse. I wasn't in love with that team when I was seeing when Saunders was on the court. I think he's a late first round pick. But I didn't like what I saw when the competition got really stiff with them, and I did not like what I saw from that team. So this just makes me double down. Like, hey, I can see this team lose in the first weekend of the tournament.
That Oklahoma State law looks worse and worse as the weeks go.
Oh, easily. I see them losing. I would definitely probably see them losing definitely first weekend of the tournament. Texas Tech, tough. That's tough because I really like that team. Toppin, I think he's a borderline NBA player. Borderline. Borderline NBA player. But when you lose that type of talent, that's gonna be tough. In USC, I wasn't a big fan of the team, even with Kalen Wilson. And I don't see Wilson as the type to sit out for the rest of the season. I think these guys are the top 4, and we're missing Boozer. If they play anymore, it won't hurt their stock. If they don't play anymore, it won't hurt their stock. So why not play? Wilson's going to be the 4th guy taken.
I hear you. Keelan Wagler, Darius Acuff, Nate Ament, Corey Pete, Kingston Flemings, they all got something to say about that. Them boys sit out, and Michael Brown Jr. Can't forget him.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw what Acuff did last night.
49, right? Boy special. Boys, that
boy can hoop. And by the way, I just gotta say this. You know how much my 2 most disliked coaches in the country are probably John Calipari and Nate Oates. And the fact that there was no other good game on TV while those 2 were on, and I was forced to watch that, was ridiculous. I really don't know how anyone can watch multiple games of either of them teams.
Come on, man.
Per season. How can you watch Alabama jack 63s, go to the rim, a bad in the midi, take a bunch of bad shots? And Sean, I could have swore it was 3 and D. Alabama plays 0 defense. And it's been like this for years. Sean, every time you go to bet on Alabama, the over-under for their game is at a minimum of 159.
Not surprised.
There's nothing appealing about that brand of basketball. And you go to Calipari, ain't no system. Hey, whoever my favorite guard is, whoever my two guards are, just go ISO all game. And I'm just sitting there. I don't get it.
But what has that changed since Kentucky? He's always been the dribble drive type of offense.
And what was I saying about him at Kentucky?
Yeah, you thought he was an underachiever. I would say this.
To go.
The only thing I would say about Nate Oates' system, you watch the NBA. It's the same system as the NBA.
It ain't good. I watch college basketball. They get away from the NBA.
It's the same system. Same system.
And the teams that play like that in the NBA don't go nowhere.
Well, I would say this about Alabama. I'm going to say this. He put Alabama basketball on the map with that type of system, and they're consistently in the conversation. They wasn't in the conversation 10, 15 years ago. So that style of basketball appeals to some of these kids because they're like, oh, I want to try translate it into the league. So I'm not knocking it.
You're going, and let me tell you what makes, that's manipulating these kids so much because kids are dumb and don't know how to choose a school. You go to Alabama, you're learning how to be a role player in the NBA. Yes.
Are we saying that because they haven't, besides Miller, developed top tier talent?
No one develops.
Miller developed.
That's it. Yeah, we already know that.
Okay. Yeah, but that's actually a good thing because most of these kids will be role players in the NBA. No. Or not even be in the NBA.
You're supposed to go to college to get developed into your full potential. And if that winds up maxing out as a role player, fine. You go to Alabama, you leave the same player that you were coming in.
No, Javon. You're wilding. Some of these role play. Austin Reeves is about to get 100 M's. Austin Reeves is about to get 100 M's. He's a role player.
He wasn't no role player at Oklahoma.
But we look at his skill set. That guy should be a role player on a championship level team, right?
I don't think he's a starter on a championship level team, period. I don't think he's on a championship level team, period.
All right, but my point is, like, you depend on you develop the worst case scenario. All right, maybe Austin Reeves in the back comparison. Worst case scenario, you're a Kobe White or something. You're gonna get $50 to $100 million playing the NBA.
Kobe White wasn't a role player at Cal. He was the man.
But in the NBA, he's a role player.
No, my point is that's a 6-man on a championship team, most likely. My point is you do not go to college to be a role player. And that's literally everyone on the Bama team. They are role playing in college and then wind up being the role player in the NBA.
But that's not bad. Devin, some guys might take another step. It's just to get to the league so that you can show a role. Devin Booker was a role player at Kentucky.
He was a rare exception to the rule.
Okay,
who else was a role player at Kentucky that turned out to be something? Scala BCA washed out. Willie Cauley-Stein washed out.
I wasn't high on those guys coming out anyways. All right.
Isaiah Bledsoe couldn't even get to the league.
I say it was small. Come on. let's call it. This 6'2". He was 6'2", but he wasn't as fast as Maxey. Like, there's no comparison with that. But
all that personal trainer scoring, that was his problem.
I do think I do agree with you in this aspect. I see what you're saying about these kids going to school trying to realize the potential. I've seen guys who, with the man at the university, can't get off the NBA bench. You know what I mean? I think I'm drawing a blank right now, but we'll have to double back on this conversation some other day. But
I'd rather that where you went to college, you got developed to your full potential, and you just started an NBA player. All right, go overseas, and then we'll see you in 10 years as a broadcaster on CBS Sports Network. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Or assistant coach on the coaching staff.
Or assistant coach back at your old school and fans. Yeah. And nothing wrong with that.
All right, but again,
but you want Alabama to be a role player, and then you can't even get past your rookie contract. If you get a full rookie contract, if you're not on a 2-way deal, once you get to the NBA and wind up overseas anyway.
How many of those guys at Alabama under Oates should have played with star level potential in the NBA? Be real. That got hold back because being role players.
But my point is, that's the thing. Ain't nobody being developed for us to even think of them in that light.
Yo, you're wild because you could tell talent, man. You could tell, regardless of the system, you could tell talent. You could tell, but like, oh, this guy's going to play in the league.
You don't win college basketball games without some level of talent.
No, of course. No, I didn't say that. Like, for example, I'll use this example. Mike Dunleavy Jr., now the GM of the Warriors. I remember watching him in college. He was the guy, the third banana, because I think Jay Will was on that team, Shane Battier. And I always I was like, yo, he's going to play in the NBA. He was the third pick in the draft as a role player on that Duke team. He was the third pick in the draft. Like,
Wasn't
he was
that a
really
weak
talented.
draft?
I don't know, man. Doesn't matter. He was the third pick in that. Now we're going to start. All right, if we're gonna do that, then a lot of guys.
Hey, Sean, because we talked about Anthony Bennett like that, and we were going to talk about Zachary Ricochet like that. Hold on, come on.
Mike Dunleavy was better pro. He was a solid pro for 10, 15 years.
Mike Dunleavy, listen, my pops was a Bulls fan. I remember Mike Dunleavy with the Bulls. Come on.
Yeah,
right, so
I love Mike
Dunleavy's draft. Yao Ming, Jay Will,
okay.
Dunleavy, Drew Gooden went fourth. Lord have mercy. Nick Skeeter-Billy. Oh, that's the name. DeVon Wagner. Nowhere.
No, but DeJuan had the hype. He had the hype.
Yeah, he had the hype, but nowhere.
Yeah.
His son, same thing. Let's see. Nene, career-long six-man at the power forward. I've never seen that. Chris Stinking Wilcox. Whew. Amari Stoudemire and Caron Butler. Shoot, they should have been the top two picks. Jared Jeffries. Woo. Mark Dixon, shout out. Tayshaun Prince.
It wasn't a bad draft.
Casey Jacobson went first round back in the day. Look at that. Nenad Christix. And John Salmons. That's not some great pick. Roger Mason.
A lot of those guys. Yeah. A lot of those.
Around this year?
Yeah, it was a late draft. Boozer was a role player on that Duke team.
Lonnie Baxter. Yeah, this from Maryland was actually good. Matt Barnes. Sewell Butler, rest in peace. Louis Scola. Reggie Evans and Udonis Haslam were undrafted that year. DJ McKay, remember him? Gennaro Pargo, Smush Parker. Oh, Lord. and oh, my, man. The Lakers really was playing with my man's cool. Smush Parker. Sean, I got in an argument with my brother last week. Did I tell you this already?
About LeBron and Kobe?
Did I mention Trump for a reason?
Nah.
Lord have mercy. Sean, my older brother wonders why no one takes him serious about anything he's saying in life. And then he will just go ahead and give you a reason to never take him serious. We talked last week, and I always come on here and let you know how much basketball he does not know, right?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. We talking about the help that players have had. And he's talking about Kobe Bryant's championship teams are better than LeBron's. No. Not even the Shaq teams were. It's literally Kobe and Shaq. And the title teams, a whole bunch of guys who looked way better than they actually were. Bruh. This idiot said Trevor Ariza was a 20-point scorer with the Lakers.
No.
Trevor Ariza ain't never sniffed a 20-point average in his career. I said stop right there, but stop. Conversation's over.
Conversation. Yeah, you were done with the conversation right there.
Like, come on, bro.
There was no point.
That's really LeBron fans for. Just don't know what they talking about.
I'm thinking right now, the only thing I think those Lakers teams in the early 2000s were all-time great teams. Like, so it's hard for me to be like, oh, they're not talented. Because Shaq and Kobe
were all-time. I don't think about the stuff that I think they were all-time great records. Same thing with them Bulls teams. I think they were all-time great records. I don't think the roster top to bottom was just unstoppable. I think so let's think. Derek Fisher, good role player.
Yes.
Is he replaceable?
They didn't win. Kobe never won a title without him.
He didn't.
So I can't say
he
was very clutch.
That conversation. Cool. No, that's why we asking questions.
Yeah.
Rick Fox. How many Rick Foxes have there been in the NBA?
I think you could replace with Fox. And they did win one title with Glenn Rice at the small four, I think.
They won a title with Glenn Rice. Kobe came back and won with Ron Artest and Trevor Ariza.
Okay, we can do that.
36-year-old Horace Green.
Yeah. Horace.
And who was on the bench besides Robert Ory?
Ron Harper.
And what was he contributing those days?
He wasn't contributing much.
And what was Ty Lue doing? No.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a lot of Shaq and Kobe cause so much gravity
Yeah.
that we can make all these guys look so much better than they are. Then
The
we
only
get back
thing.
to the Lakers. We get back to the late 2000s. Sasha Vujacic,
Mm-hmm.
Shannon Brown.
Yeah, good point.
You know what I mean? Like, credit Lamar Odom, best six man in the league at the time. Give him that. But this Pau Gasol syndrome that everyone has. Buddy, do we not remember how he got washed in 08?
No, he was soft.
Can we just stop forgetting how much better Kobe Bryant made Pau Gasol? And can we stop forgetting Andrew Bynum did not become Andrew Bynum for another 2 years after they won that first championship? We got to stop with the revisionist history. Is all I'm saying.
I would say this. I agree with you in this aspect. I don't put those 2007, 8, 9 Lakers as all time. I don't even think about them in the conversation. Like, Lamar was nice and stuff like that with Paul Gasol and Gasol. But I look at the 2012 Miami Heat as one of those teams that. So I think they won that 28 straight games or something like that.
And look at everybody they had on the team.
Yeah. That team is one of the all-time great teams.
D-Wade, Battier, LeBron, Bosh, Ray Allen. That's your closing lineup.
Has him off the bench. Mike Miller. Did they have Mike Miller that year?
Yeah.
Mike
Charles
Miller.
and Cole were your point guards.
Yeah. No, that team was really good. And that was prime. I still think everybody says 18 LeBron. That was the best LeBron I've seen was 12.
Yes. When he stopped trying to shoot all them jumpers, took his ass to the power forward and just ran free.
Yeah, and he had a post game and he was efficient. That's the best LeBron I've ever seen. And so I think they beat those Laker teams in the 09, 08, 09 team.
I don't know about that because they tried to do all that small ball stuff and that wasn't going to fly. And Chris Bosh did not have scored on Pau Gasol.
Was that the best version of Kobe those 3 years?
The best version of Kobe was 2006, averaging 35 points a game.
Okay, that's exactly what I was gonna say. All right, so that's why I can talk sports with you. That's why we do this because I was gonna say if you say
the best years of Kobe Bryant were wasted.
Yes, right after Shaq, right?
Years were after Shaq and before Pau, and they were wasted.
Those 2-3 years,
Vladimir Radmanovic.
Exactly. That's why his run as best player in the world doesn't last as long because those 3 years are like, he was putting up numbers. But those 3 years, he was the best player in the NBA. Duncan could have an argument in one of those years.
He's the best player in the league until 2010. Not my fault. I'd say until the 2012-13 season. I'll say that was the first year where I'd say you can pass the torch to LeBron.
Yeah, that's when I think LeBron.
Cole was still number 2 until the Achilles.
I wouldn't be mad at that. But I think the best version of him was right after Shaq up to Pau. Those were easily those best versions of him. But that's what I was saying. That version of LeBron in 12, the only levels I've seen is Michael on that level. I'm not a LeBron Glazer or anything like that. So I'm being real. I've never seen someone play both sides of the basketball that well in one single season since Michael.
Not many people have had. I can't name a team where Mike and Kobe have had that much space to operate.
No.
Or the roster that dictates you have to be guarded one-on-one. You can't double team. You couldn't double team LeBron.
Good point. But I do look at it like LeBron that year, Michael's 96 season or 93 season, one of the two, you can pick one. Those are like Steph's 2016 season, Jokic season up to this point. The Jokic season this year, it slipped off, was really good at the beginning. I'm like, damn, this guy might be the best. Yeah, I was like, damn, I might have to put him over Hakeem eventually soon because I was really thinking that because he was that special. But like individual season, I think Kobe's 2006 season, you gotta have individual. When someone is that special, you gotta tip the cap to him. And I think LeBron was really, really special that year.
Dr. J's first year with the Nets in the ABA.
Yes, ABA season. Yep, special.
By the way, everyone, please go watch the ABA documentary on Prime and learn something. That league has some damn good players, Sean. Oh, yeah. Goodness.
George Gervin, everything.
again, the innovation for what basketball is today. 3-ball, fast pace, playing above the rim. Yeah, and then y'all wonder why a little bit of an issue with claiming all these so-called Celtics championships from the 60s and 70s. Small ass NBA, and all the talent was on the Celtics in the 60s. And then once the 70s came, not all the best players in the world were on one league.
So you think we should just count from the 70s on?
I've been said post-merger is when you start counting championships.
Titles.
And when you're evaluating individual talent, sure, everything's free game. But we're talking about championships, it has to be pre-ABA and post-ABA.
Separate them.
Because them Pacers teams, you can't tell me they couldn't come to the NBA and be in the Final Four.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
No, that makes sense. And the game was played inside back then. That duo, yeah, okay. With shooters on the outside, okay. Okay.
Then they may have to do that too with the Negro League and Major League Baseball. Separate them as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've always felt that.
Yeah, the best players have to be the best players.
Best pitcher in the world was sitting in Kansas City. And
Yeah.
not for the Warriors.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree with that. I can't disagree with that.
All right, Sean, there's a new era in South Beach. The Jeff Hampton era has gotten underway with the Dolphins, who have cut Tariq Hill and Bradley Chubb and are now shopping Minkah Fitzpatrick and would prefer to trade Tua Tagovailoa rather than release him. Your thoughts?
I love it. I love what they're doing because it all smells, it reeks, it looks like the tank for Arch is on in Miami. And you know what I say? When you're in the middle, you got to either go to the top or you break it down to the studs. And I think it's...
Hold on. Are we sure Arch is number one?
He's number one on my board. I know. I don't care what anyone else says. That's not... After we play at the end of the year, I expect him to improve. He's my number one pick in the draft next year. And then you say someone else, you let me know.
Trinidad Tanglish is going to be part of this draft class.
We'll
see how Julian Sand improves, and we'll see how Dante Moore improves.
It's going to be a top.
And who says going to be a quarterback? Ain't Jeremiah Smith about to be out there?
No, I agree. But if all five, well, you need 4 or 5? Because you could put Sellers in there if you want to. I don't know.
No.
Okay, no Sellers. One of those guys will be the first pick in the draft because Miami will clear. To me, it looks like a clear tank job they're trying to do in Miami, in which they should do because that team was mediocre and wasn't built on the strength of toughness, which you need in the AFC East. So why not break it down to studs? Where Hafley comes from, from Boston College, the type of defense he's played with his personality, you just got to build it from the studs up. And I think, all right, regardless of whoever you want to pick with the number one pick, they will go quarterback next year, and it's a better quote-unquote draft for quarterback. So they'll be, even if they don't get the first pick, they'll be in the top 5. So you just say you don't get Arch. There's some other good candidates I like coming out this next year. But again, we got to wait and see. But I like where they're starting because it's like, hey, I said this is the year before, and I like Brian Flores. I love him. He should get a job. But the biggest thing they messed up, it was like an unspoken word in the NFL that the Miami Dolphins was going to tank to get the number one pick and get Joe Burrow. And they didn't tank and didn't get Joe Burrow. Hindsight's 20/20. But I'd rather have Joe Burrow than Tua Tagovailoa.
But in that aspect, I don't blame coaches for failed tanks. I blame the GM. You give the coach enough to win with, he's going to go win. You want it to be a losing team, you as the GM have to strip your team of assets.
Who's on that team? That was that was show how great of a coach Flores was. He didn't accept mediocre. They didn't have any talent. They purposely was training picks and it was lining up. We want to go get the number one pick, and it was Joe Burrow that year, and they didn't do it because of the great coaching in Flores. And I love Flores, but I think if I was Stephen Ross, be like, hey, I think there's more generational quarterbacks in this draft. If that's what you think, we got to be on alignment of how bad the team has to be.
Stephen Ross went about it the complete wrong way too. Because you on the yacht and all that. And we got to give Flores his credit. Hold on, 3 years, 5-11, 10-6, 9-8. You're only a black man can get fired for that in the NFL. After what the Dolphins had been, come on, man. That's
no, easily. I'm not again what they, but you got hindsight 2020. And they passed up on Justin Herbert, so that's a organization failure as well. And my failure too. I would have brought fire for that because I would have passed on. I would have took Tua over Herbert.
We shit on.
Yeah. So I would have got fired.
We like I said, we ain't issuing that apology anymore until he shows us something. So
No,
still further notice, we were right.
Exactly. So, but in this draft coming up, you regardless of whoever pick you, Miami needs to land on top 5. You got May in that division, you got Allen in that division who ain't leaving. You got the Jets with 2 first-round picks in this draft. You need to go find your quarterback. I like what they're doing. Do not tell me they're going to. I heard they're going to get Malik Willis. Why? I think he's going to be good.
Yeah,
I like Malik Willis.
Go see if you have a guy like a Sam Darnold, like a Baker Mayfield, who sat for a little while behind a decent quarterback in a good system. It can actually be a starter for you. Go see. If
so
you're in Green Bay with him. He needs a chance. You need a quarterback. Go get him on a 2-year deal. Nothing too crazy. See if he can play this year. And if you got something, you got something. Now your draft capital can go elsewhere.
Good point. And I was just gonna say that when you made me think. Because you already know him, the GM and the coach. If you feel comfortable and he performs well, it's actually better for you. And he's on a lesser deal. And you could build the team long term, not just have these guys rookies come in with nothing around them. So that is the best option. If Willis comes in and he balls out, but the win-win is if he doesn't ball out, you still get a top 5 pick in the draft that quote unquote supposed to have better quarterbacks.
There you go. I mean, Bradley Chubb, I feel bad for. Because I was there in his career. Just derailed. Yeah, no business being in that game against the Ravens. And just really hasn't been the same since he got traded from Denver. And now you see where Denver is without him. I don't know what market he's going to demand, but Tyreek Hill, Chiefs are going to lose Hollywood.
Oh.
They're probably going to bring Travis Kelce back. Mahomes is trying to play the full season. See if you got one last ride in you. Bring him back, I guess, because Rashee Rice is done.
Yeah.
Yeah, 18 months. They got 18 months of you beating on your woman. But then you're going to replace one with another. Well, when you bring Tyreek Hill.
Damn. Well, and he really loves giving guys second chances. But I do think, he has to go back to Kansas City. And if I'm Kansas City, this is our last opportunity with the band. Because you know when New England had to flip this switch and they had Hernandez and Edelman and Gronk, this is our last hurrah with this band, and then we got to flip it over because Mahomes, he's been around for so long, but Mahomes is only 30, going to be 31 this year. It's like he might not everybody's gonna be Brady. All that 45 stuff, let's stop that. If he still has another 5-6 years,
he moves around more. In these last couple of years, he's not been protected as much as Tom was.
Exactly. So you got 5-6 years of his prime. You got to get that next generation of guys next to him so you can squeeze out maybe 1 or 2 more Super Bowls. If Mahomes gets to 5, some people have him in the conversation with Brady has to go like just with 5. And then you get close. That's sometimes getting close is just as good enough as being like, because not being Michael and Brady is a hard bar to climb. Getting 8, getting 7. That's tough in this generation of sports.
Yeah. All right, Sean, your boy Jerome Tang is being fired, and Kansas State is trying to say it's for cause after his press conference rant where he said players did not deserve to wear that jersey. And many of them would not be back in the Little Apple next year. And then the following game, he removed their last names from those jerseys and proceeded to get his ass kicked. Your thoughts on what's going on in Kansas State?
So I think I texted out a group chat and it said, I'm not mad that he got fired, but saying for cause because of a press conference for showing players, hey, you guys not putting forth the effort. or putting forth the standard of Kansas basketball. If you can't coach your team hard, I don't want to be the coach anyways. If I'm him, fire me. But I want my money because he's owed $11 million. I'm taking that court. And I think he's gonna win that because for cars, what did he do to embarrass the university? I didn't like. Is there anything in his contract that he can't take off the names off the jersey? If he can't be in a press conference being real? Like, again, he has not done well since that tournament run. He deserved to be. He should have been fired at the end of the year, anyways. But saying for cause so you could keep the $11 million is shady to me.
It's cheap.
That's
it's
not
shady,
yeah.
And I wouldn't want to take the job.
Oh hell no, you're not. I'm not going to take that job. It's
a very middle of the pack job in the current Big 12. And if the Big 12 were what it's supposed to be regionally, with Oklahoma still there, with Texas and with Oklahoma and Texas still there, with Nebraska still there, with Arkansas, Missouri, and A&M still there, Kansas State would still be toward the bottom of the list of quality of job in that conference, right? So, do I want that gig, especially with what you're doing with Jerome? It's crazy. Now, here's my thing, though, Jerome. This is year 4 for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this ain't the other coach's kids that you inherit. These are your kids that you either got out of high school or in the portal. So if they're not good enough and don't deserve to wear the jersey, you recruited these guys. So you don't deserve to be the coach of this university.
Absolutely.
Now, if you're going to try to use his words against him in the for cause thing, we'll see how it plays out. I'm not going to pretend to be some lawyer over that. But did he have to go? Yes. But the whole thing just feels cheap. It feels cheap. And if you're doing this, if I'm Josh Schertz at St. Louis, why do I want the Kansas State job?
I wouldn't.
I might as well just go up to Syracuse because Red Archery's gone at the end of the year. But then again, I don't know if I want that because a little birdie told me, Sean. That's football-wise. But NIL-wise, they're in the middle of the pack. The state of New York produces no one these days. And Syracuse is going to have a new chancellor and a new AD this year.
Yeah.
Do I want that? Do I want that job?
Exactly. A lot of turnover. But I'm just not a big fan of the job anyways. And I definitely not a big fan of the AD and the school for even bringing this up. Fire him and pay him his $11 million and just let him go. But doing that is it's low. I just looked at it. I was like, that's very low class because I should be able to say what the hell I wanted to say in the press conference. It wasn't like he was calling them like B words or anything like that. He was just like being real about their effort. But again, he deserved to be fired. Let's make this clear. We're both on the same page. He should have been fired. Yeah. It's just for cause, it's slimy. It's just a shady way to do it.
And, while we're on the topic, this Mick Cronin thing. So everyone, oh man, you can't do that to that kid knowing his story. All right, I'm supposed to let a kid take a blatantly dumb hard foul while we're down 17 points and stare a dude down, all because Izzo rejected him as a walk-on back in the day? No. What are we talking about? Now, should Mick have sent him to the locker room for the whole world to see? No. But should he have benched the kid for the rest of the night? Absolutely. So let's relax on the soft stuff, bro. You want to be mad he sent him to the locker room. Like, hey, you could have did it better. But benching that kid and yanking him, absolutely, there's nothing right about what that kid did. That's what he played hard. No, he didn't. He took a hard foul on dude for no reason, and then he stared him down. And then waited for him to get up and stared him down some more like he wanted to do something. So stop. That kid is not innocent.
Yeah. The only thing I would have done was bench the kid. Simple as that. But and then we would have talked. But you made it a little bit of a show, grabbing his jersey, telling your security guard to get him out of there. No need for all the extra dramatics. And then after the game, why were you that guy asked you a simple question? You could have answered it, but you made it about the guy wasn't getting his voice loud. I just didn't like. I'm not a big fan of Mick Cronin back in UCLA anymore.
Yeah, it's time for both
It's
sides.
time to go.
But I just don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where he goes. Maybe he takes Kansas State, but then again, I'm a Final Four coach. Why am I taking the job at a middle tier program in the best conference in basketball? You know, I can't go back to Cincy because that's lower tier in that same conference, and that is the team that is one of the teams that are most regionally out of place in that league, which is his biggest complaint with UCLA. Or where am I going? You know what I mean? Like, college basketball has forced out guys like Mick Cronin because it's not advantageous for me anymore. I might be an assistant on the NBA staff or something. Where am I going to go? Like I just said, Syracuse ain't a good job these days, and I'm not traveling to Southern Methodist in the Bay Area from Syracuse. I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it at all.
Maybe he should take a year and wait for a job to come open. But my question is, if I'm UCLA, I need someone like I remember when this happened. I was like, oh, getting Dustin May was going to change Michigan, and it has. Who's that guy for you if you're UCLA?
No, it ain't a coach for UCLA. It's about an investment. They don't pour enough money into their programs.
True. That's been the issue, which is crazy because in downtown LA, which is crazy. But the alumni is not. It doesn't seem as significant as UCLA.
No, UCLA's in Brentwood. They ain't downtown. That's USC that's in the trenches.
Oh yeah, my bad. I got them mixed up. USC is in LA. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So, but who's the guy? Like, who's the guys that you could get, or women who's put the money together for UCLA? Like, I'm trying to think of. They don't have that cachet like that. I think they're living off those 11 straight championships. Yeah, like
one in the 90s.
It's not that. What was the Baron Davis, Matt Barnes, Drew Holiday? They got some NBA guys.
Westbrook, Kevin Love.
Kevin Love.
Hey, y'all gotta come help your program out.
Yeah, that's where it comes.
Smith's going to pay money for Davidson. And Harden's going to pay money for Arizona State. Yeah, y'all gotta help out.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Get some.
I was thinking about that. My thing at Temple. Hey, Deion Dawkins, Hassan Wright, y'all done made some cheese. Get some back. Help out.
Yeah, that's your best bet. If you're UCLA, like they have some prominent NBA guys who made it into the league and made some significant money that they can pull together or get some resources, some investors. They have ears to CEOs. Like there should be no reason why UCLA basketball doesn't have the resources they should.
Who knows? All right, Sean, I know you're pissed about this one. An injunction from some court has allowed Trinidad Chambers to play a 6th year of college football. I looked at his eligibility, and I'll double check. But it doesn't seem like his is super bad. Like it looks like this is going to be an actual 4th year for him. So I won't bug out too much, but I still think he could have left and been number 2 quarterback with a chance to be the best quarterback in this draft class.
Yeah, when you have a chance to go in the first round in a draft, because forget the quarterbacks we named in the last segment about Miami, or the segment before that. There's going to be a lot of good just players, position players, defensive players in this draft. It's going to be a deeper draft. Strike with the irons hot. I don't see them replicating the same success. I'm a big Lane Kiffin guy and Charlie Weiss guy. Javon might have their different opinions on that. I don't see the same level of offense coming back to Ole Miss. And so I love when I remember seeing LeBron James when I was in high school, and he was like, when you're hot, you're hot. You got to take the opportunity. And I think Chambers had an opportunity to be a high first round pick or middle of the pack. I just don't respect it because I think it shows me a little bit about him. Why are you seeking when you have the opportunity to be a first round pick, even like you want to say second round pick, and you want to go back to school for what? The money's there and the fame's there. I get that. But
And what's our thing? Be like, what is it? 30 plus, 36 games on a resume.
yeah,
Well, he's only got 29.
but he's played what? Yeah, that's true. 29. The only thing is this. Do you see him having a better year than he did this year?
No, and that's my thing. I think he
That's
made
my
the
thing.
wrong
Yeah.
business
Yeah.
decision. I don't think
Yes.
there's anything he can gain coming.
Yes.
But I think
Exactly.
there is something he can lose. Absolutely.
Yeah, and that was my thing because I'm thinking in totality. I'm listening. I see it, and I'm thinking, can he have a better? And I don't see it having a better year. If he does, he'll be the Heisman Trophy winner, and then that'll be a completely different conversation, right? But I just don't see it, and I do think that Lane and Charlie are really good at what they do, and so Charlie Weiss will be a head coach in the next year or two at some big time school. So I just don't see why you would do it again. The draft is much deeper next year, and there's supposed to be, if guys have better years, there'll be a better quarterback class. So let's see. I hope for the kid, but I just don't. If I was a GM, a little taken aback by that because I'm like, ugh. What do you have to gain from that? Unless you just want to keep beating up on the younger kids, and it's fame and money. That's what it comes down to. Let's call it space pay. You'd rather be the guy at the university and getting $5-6 million a year than being the backup.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. It in IO money. That's all.
Yeah, that's what it comes down to. Simple
you
as
make
that.
more on a rookie scale if you go in the first round. So that tells me you don't feel confident enough in yourself as a first.
Exactly. So when you come out, you have over 40 games of professional experience. So college experience as a quarterback. Let's see what you do. Let's see. We'll see. I wish him the best. So I could always reverse.
It's going to be in my pre-draft interview next year. I have to go back to school. That's the only thing. That's the one thing I'm harping on. I'll spend an hour of the pre-draft interview on that. I have to go back to school.
I don't see any benefit. I don't see any benefit. If you told me he was going to LSU and he was going back with the same offensive system and things like that, I would be like, I'd probably be less. But I don't see the benefit because Ole Miss will not. I don't want to say will not. I'm pretty sure they're not going to be in the Final Four next year. I'm pretty sure that it won't be in this.
He's got some guys to throw to. He's got some guys to throw to.
Cool, but a lot of things have to go right for you to go into the Final Four again. Like a lot of things to go right. But
I don't think we can dismiss Ole Miss as a playoff contender this year.
You say don't dismiss them?
Yeah, I can dismiss them as a team. I want to say they just can't make the playoff this year.
Oh no! I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying being in the Final Four.
But the Final Four, yeah. I hear you.
That's a tough thing to say for any of these teams. Georgia, Indiana, any of these powerhouse teams. It's tough to say every year you're going back to the Final Four. Not how college football is now.
No. All right, Sean. What's next?
All right, so the All-Star break. So we're talking about. I started the show about the All-Star game. How intense it was, quote unquote. But we also got to put in All-Star Saturday night. We got to talk about that. So, Javon, what was your overall thoughts about the whole weekend for the NBA?
Friday was great.
Oh, Friday too. Excuse me.
Sunday was great. Didn't watch the liquor Saturday. I'm glad I did. Everything I saw about that damn dunk contest was disgusting. Just let it go. Place it with a one-on-one contest. It's unrivaled one-on-one has been jumping. But Sunday, I love it. I only got 2 qualms with Sunday. The old heads should have played in the first game because it would have guaranteed them a break in between. If there were any 2 teams that should have went 3 straight, it was the youngins and the world team. You can't ask that of the old heads. And you saw it in the 4th game. They were dead tired. They had no legs. But other than that, the format worked. Shout out to Wemby for bringing the intensity and Ant for meeting it with the young team and Kawhi for meeting it with the old team. And I keep telling y'all, I'm going to stop forgetting to mention Kawhi when you talk about LeBron, Steph, and KD. Kawhi's right there. It's better than KD. And just leave it at that. The world team could have greatly benefited from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Giannis Antetokounmpo. they would not have gone winless had those two played. They just lacked star power to give Wemby the help he needed. Jamal Murray, you talking all that. You're going to go out there and do your thing and cook and hoop. Ain't do too much. No concern for this back half of the season to see what you're going to do in the playoffs, because you ain't been the same in the playoffs lately. You promised us something for the All-Star game. And you did not deliver. But I want to point out two players. I'm not going to give KD his credit for pointing them out, because he pointed them out for entirely different reasons. He pointed them out to try to get the pressure off of him and his buddies for the fact that they don't care, but they showed up this year. But these two, Luka and Jokic, if I got on LeBron last year for taking a spot for somebody, I'm going to get on y'all. Y'all played a combined 5.5 minutes each. Or something like that. They played like you should have gave up your spot.
Yeah.
And
I'm
sick of
hurt?
seeing them two at the All-Star game. Don't even put them in the All-Star game anymore. They have made it clear they don't care. Every year they sit, and then when they go out there, they be ass. They don't want to be out there. They don't need to be on the team. I don't need to see them two together. I really don't. Don't send them to the All-Star game anymore. Seriously, don't send them. They don't care about it. Those two, if you were going to do that, you should have given your spots up. And my man Dylan Brooks could have had a spot on the team. And Embiid could have had a spot on the team. And they were both deserving this year.
You did call that. You did call that.
Did anything to keep Dylan Brooks off, didn't he? I mean, he was warming Powell to the world team and gave De'Aaron Fox looked so out of place. He made the shot, but he looked so out of place. That was the least deserving guy on the court. Stephon Castle's been more of an all-star than De'Aaron Fox this year.
They were so hell-bent on not putting Dylan Brooks on that team. I don't get it. It was crazy. Maybe because of his personality or something, but damn.
Y'all talk about the dream team and Isaiah. We want to talk about the 26 world team and Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, no way. Norman Powell, Jamaica descent, or playing for the world. Come on,
like, that was that. Dominicans. I mean, one more injury, they're going to let Donovan Mitchell play for the Panamanians.
Yeah, like that was ridiculous. Yeah, Adam Silver took the L for that one, but. Give them they took a NBC, the NBA, and the players took a complete W for the format. They need to keep it. I would say this. I do like the stars, the young kids facing the world, because they match their energy to start. And so when I think if the old had started, we would have been with the same BS. I gotta be honest. But when they saw that those guys were playing,
because I don't know if KD would have let Wemby show him up like that, because they had a stretch where they started guarding each other in their game. I'm like, this is what I'm here to see. Because I was about a couple weeks ago on NBC. What's that NBC game? What's that ESPN game? Either way, where I watched Wemby let Kevin Durant guard him and lock him up. If Wemby would have won at him again in the first game, well, in the hypothetical first game, the U.S. would have showed up. They would have showed up.
Okay. Maybe. But I do think it was great for the league in this aspect. Same way now I look back at how the finals was good for the league. It was Ant-Man and Wemby who set the tone, and they're part of the next guys. And I said this before to you guys, or I said in the chat, Steph, LeBron, and KD deserves blame with all. When Kobe passed the torch to you guys, it wasn't in this place. And then you guys took it and made it a mockery.
Hey, Steph puts on a show.
Yeah, but you one of the guys. Wemby's not the best player, but he put the intensity. They guys should not be playing the way they've done over the last 10 years since Kobe. If you one of the guys, you should be able to set that tempo. So when Wemby set the tempo, Ant was like, "Oh, I got to match that." So Steph hasn't done his job, and he's been one of the faces of the league, those guys. So I would say that. So I think it was great for the league that those two guys were the ones who stepped up. And just going forward, all we want to see is something like that. Go ahead,
KD. Oh, I've been watching all these All-Star games since the 70s and watching the first quarter. Y'all keep leaving them saying he only watched the first quarter out of that clip, by the way. Where's the intensity everybody's talking about? I don't see it. No one has ever played the first quarter in the All-Star game. It's always been first quarter, put on a show. Second quarter has always been the worst quarter of the All-Star game. Then once they come out of halftime, it's time to go.
That's all we ask. But
the first quarter meant something this year because there were 4 different games.
Yeah.
You had to win that dance.
The only thing I would change is probably. I don't think a team. I know it's like how we do it now. You win, you stay on the court. I just don't think that's going to be realistic for a team like the older team because the fourth quarter was trash.
I just
It
don't
was
think
just
the
too
older
tight.
team should have been the second game because that just meant they had to play 3 straight. The old heads should have been on the first game because they would have been guaranteed a bye.
So maybe they switched that next year. But I thought it was great. I thought the dunk contest needs to go. That was the kid from Miami was dancing more than he was actually doing good dunks. 3-point contest was good. The Friday things was good. And I do agree about that's why I was laughing.
The Stars came out to play Friday night.
Oh, they came out to play.
I'm watching. What I like Friday and Sunday, you saw them teams come out in the first game and getting the actual offenses off the rip.
Yes. I noticed that.
I said, "Oh, what?"
Yeah, I saw that when I were in the All-Star game. So I was like, "Oh, they're in place." Like that was impressive. So we just need a little bit more.
Time out. You saw the beginning of the first game for the All-Star game?
No, I didn't see. I saw that on. No, did I see the first game? Yeah, I was here. I saw the beginning.
Oh, hold on, because I could have sworn somebody was in the group chat. I'm not even going to bother watching Sunday. I wonder.
I did say that. I did say that. I did say that. We were on this couch. I can't lie. I did say that. You go, hold me to the fire, man. I ain't mad. That's true. I did say on Saturday, and I haven't been drinking, so it was a sober mind. I did say I was not watching it on Sunday, but we're here. The whole family's here. I have people in town. I was like, let me turn on something. Yeah, so I got to turn the game on. So that's my fault. I had to say that.
I couldn't just say I'm not going to watch it. It's a new format. If I'm going to criticize something, I got to give it a chance.
No, you got to watch it. Yeah.
It's something like that. I'm going to watch it. And I'm glad I watched it from the beginning to the end.
It was good. It was good. Two other things. Kawhi needs to be a Laker. I said that in the last show. I just see it as they have to make that transition this summer. And then Luka and Jokic, they're saying that the Lakers, if they're trying to get cap space for the 2027 season with Jokic and Giannis are free agents, that might be one of the targets. I do not want to say Luka and Jokic on a team ever together. And I agree with you with that.
Defensive team in history.
Yes, and KD is completely right. Those boys don't care. Like, just don't let them come. Like they say every year, right? All separate. Oh, they're hurt, and just have 2 injury replacements because those boys do not care at all. Like they don't care at all.
And you mentioned Giannis. If it were up to me, maybe I wouldn't be back in.
I'm done with that.
I'm a restricted free agent. Yeah. He is. It's impossible to top LeBron and Kevin Durant for my 2 most disliked players. He's number 3.
Damn, he's gone to number 3.
Yeah. He's past James Harden. He's number 3. Because at least James has the balls to tell the team to get me out of here.
Keeps it real.
Giannis is 3, Harden's 4. I can't with that guy.
Is Dwight Howard, what was this? 2011, 2010? I don't remember where it was. When Dwight just kept wavering back and forth. You want to be with the Magic. Listen, this is where I was having this conversation. In life, someone has to step up and be the leader.
That's a conviction.
Yes, Haslam, the owners of the Bucks, needs to step up and be like, hey, Horst and Giannis, we ain't doing this anymore. This is what we're going to do what's best for the Milwaukee Bucks franchise. We ain't winning a championship. You can go get Kyrie next year. Go get Kyrie. You ain't winning a championship.
I don't know if the Haslams even have the time to deal with the Bucks right now. Their whole starting offensive line is going to be free agents this offseason. I don't think that's ever happened in NFL history.
That's wild.
How about this? The Haslams just don't need to own anything anymore.
Yeah, I can get with that.
Jimmy Haslam, go sit down somewhere.
I can get with that. 100% get with that because they've done a horrible job running the Browns. And then even though they haven't run it the whole time, but even the Bucks, I can't say they've been horrible. Well, no, they didn't win the title with the Bucks. It was the other guy. They just bought the Bucks a couple years ago. I don't know. I just think that again, like your owner said from the Ravens, I can't give control to my players. The Bucks have given Giannis too much control. It can't happen anymore. And it's going to be shell shock to him if he goes to Miami because that's old. He ain't changing. It ain't changing. So
I want to stop hearing it in Miami in the same sentence too.
That's facts, yeah. I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed what's going on down in South Beach.
Sean, your favorite city, Philadelphia. The Phillies told Nick Castellanos to stay home, don't come to spring training. Then they waived him, and now he is going to the Padres, who have been everything the Phillies have wanted to be. Really, they both. Wait, I might be wrong on that. San Diego hasn't gotten there yet. They got to the NLCS, and they lost
Yeah,
to
they
the
haven't
Phillies.
got.
Yeah, my
Yeah, they
fault.
haven't got.
So my fault. He's going to the team that wishes they could do what the Phillies have done lately. Your thoughts?
My boy Nick was wilding. But I looked at this and I agree. I heard someone say this on Twitter or something like that already. That if this was another impact player, would they have done this too? No. Nick is a good player. He ain't what he used to be, and they made him an example.
He
It was
can't
just
field
time.
worth a damn.
Yeah, I mean, like, so, I
It's
didn't
either
look at it as a
learn
big deal.
first base or go to DH. But his bat is nowhere near what it used to be when he was in Cincinnati. So
Exactly, it's not the same at all. So but I
I
saw
don't know if
the
he can get the headache.
what happened?
I don't know if he's worth the headache.
No, exactly. So they made him an example because he ain't that player. So I laughed about it because that dude was he liquored up or he was trying to get drunk or something like that? Like, I don't know what he was doing, but it was like, all right, you ain't that type of player. We got other young guys. We just signed Garcia. Like, it's time for to go. We're gonna give you 20 M's. Go play. I like it for the Padres. The Padres are always the team that's gonna sign these guys and try to figure it out and make it work. But yeah, I just thought it was not that big of a deal because he's not that guy. He ain't Harper or Scherber or he's not one of those guys. He's not Turner. So you got to make an example out of him.
I feel like both of these teams, the Padres, it seems like they're trying to hang on, but it's time to come to the realization that they're not going to get it done. And with Phillies, it seems like with them, same thing, but they need to realize it's time to let go. I just don't see it in that roster. JT Realmuto has gotten old. Bryce Harper's at first base now, no longer in the outfield. Schwarber, I think when he falls off, it's going to be nasty. And I think it may be coming soon. Y'all don't know whether y'all love or hate Alec Bone. Trey Turner had a down year. Y'all been booing him in Philly. Bryson Stott ain't anything special at second. He ain't bad. It's a decent player. Still haven't figured out center field. Aaron Nola can't stay healthy. I just don't understand what's so competitive about the Phillies. I don't. I think that's going to be the Mets and the Braves division for years to come. I think the Phillies are done. And with the Padres,
Wait. You think they're done this year?
yes.
Think the Braves bounce back and the Mets win it?
Yes. And with the Padres, the Dodgers are going to win the West for as long as they want to win the West. And the Giants just can't win anything in free agency. So the Padres will keep coming to second place in the West. It's always going to be about what wild card seed they get. But I'm waiting for them to get the piece that makes me say that's going to get them over the hump.
I could see this might be a bold prediction. We still got time before we have to make our prediction. Someone win the NL West and the Dodgers, because it just happens. I seen it with the Yankee dynasty or the Patriots dynasty. There's going to be a down year that the Dodgers are going to have to win the World Series through the wild card, and this might be the year. For some reason,
this year you add Kyle Tucker, and the rest of these teams have nothing. Corbin Carroll was hurt,
but they're gonna
have Suarez ain't in Arizona, so they're going to be Arizona, and they're going to be Colorado. Who do the Giants have to make you feel like they have a chance at that?
I'm not saying that those teams are better. I'm just saying it just happens sometimes. It's just I've seen it over
I'm just saying what's the most realistic possibility for that to happen. That's what I'm asking.
Oh, the Dodgers. Well, the Padres are. If the Padres in the AL the last couple of years, they'll be the best team in the AL. I would think, or in contention, the last 2 years.
As inconsistent as the AL West is. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, like, that's a
Hockey.
really good team. They could win that division. Like, so they didn't have the splash moves this year. And that's sometimes you don't need that. I think they could win the division and the Dodgers will finish in the wild card. The Dodgers are going to win the World Series, but it's going to not be as like I thought it was going to be. They're not going to win 150 games and not lose and not go unscathed throughout the playoffs. I think it's going to be a tougher path. They almost lost Game 7. Like in the World Series. They barely won
almost doesn't count.
Absolutely. They're the champs. I'm not knocking it. Not knocking it. But I would say this is that I could see the Padres winning the division this year. I'm still picking the Dodgers to win the World Series. I'm not naive by that. But just a harder path. So I like what the Padres have. And the Padres and Dodgers are the best. They don't like each other. It's actually a good rivalry. At 1 year, the Padres will get them, just not this year, but they might win the division.
This isn't the Yankee fan and you hating on the Dodgers, is it?
No. I just said they're going to win the World Series.
Just making sure. Hey, you know something very interesting that caught my eye this week, because we got all this get rid of the NBA draft conversation, which I think is ridiculous. What's that? 27 rings the Yankees have?
Yeah, 27. That's not enough.
Yeah, well, Sean, don't piss me off.
That's not enough.
Anyways, word on the street is 11 of them rings came before there was a draft, and all the good young players just decide I'm gonna go play in the Bronx. Yeah,
So
we don't need to ever get rid of the draft.
No, we should. No, we should give it the draft because you get a chance to pick where you want to work. I get a chance to pick where I want to work. Why shouldn't we do that? A draft in sports? No. The NBA, then you give it a tanking.
Oh, sports are different. We have to stop that. Come on. Being a professional athlete is not being part of the labor force. It's just not.
Well, you're producing labor and people are making money off your labor. I'm just saying.
There's exceptions to every rule. Come on, man.
All right, but
nobody get paid to play a game.
Absolutely. I'm just saying, and I understand the totality, the money and all the stuff like that. But so you're saying it's okay, these guys, the way your Utah Jazz did the NBA dirty a couple weeks ago when they clearly could beat the Miami. Well, they beat the Miami the other night before.
The Jazz deserve an apology for Jaren Jackson, first of all. They should be appealing how much they got fined because he's actually got something wrong with him.
Do you think it was if they were in the playoff race right now, he could play through it?
Oh, he had a growth. That is scary.
No, absolutely, that's scary. I'm not minimizing it, but I think he would play through it. But it's easier. We'll get to a subject about some of these other teams shutting down their players right now. I think it's convenient that hey, let's get this done now, so you can miss the rest of the season. I'm just saying.
You don't play around with something like that. I disagree vehemently on this one.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But
there are other antics, sure. But Jaren Jackson, it's bad optics to give them the fine literally less than 48 hours after finding out he had something actually going on with him.
The only thing I would say is he did play 3 games for the Jazz when he got traded. Right about that. So that's the thing. If he when they did the physical, he didn't play any games for the Jazz. They could have still took him and be like, hey, we found this thing. But he played 3 games for the Jazz. And first of all, I have to say this. Those 3 games I've seen in the Jazz, next year, if they don't make top 7, I'll be very surprised. I like what I saw with the Jazz. I have a lot of faith in Ainge. You know, I'm a big Danny Ainge guy and his son and stuff like that. I love their coach. I have a lot of faith in the Jazz. I'm not mad at what they're doing, and especially if they get a high pick. But I do think he did play 3 games for the Jazz. Get it done, please. Take care of your health, absolutely. But I think if we got rid of drafts, there would be no tanking because you wouldn't have the choice of where that player goes.
But no one would ever go to Sacramento.
No one should want to go to Sacramento. No, but that's the problem. Sacramento might be rewarded with the top pick in this draft, and they're a hardly run organization.
So, even if they showed you something, still no one would go to Sacramento.
Make a rule that you can't. It has to rotate. Maybe do this. The 4 teams
and
rotate
nobody
every
go
year.
to Orlando either. unless you're from Central Florida.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't move to any of these. I wouldn't definitely never move to Memphis.
No one would go to San Antonio.
Nah, I would go to San Antonio. The culture. Culture's been built.
Come on, these kids don't care about winning no more. It's all about the money. And the
Well,
location.
you could do it like baseball does it. You can't.
And they go to Memphis, because you got all these John Morants, these wannabe YNs. Yeah, they gonna go to Memphis and kick it with the Memphis Rappers and try to be in that life.
Get caught up in that life, you go, your career end up like Ja. Even though Ja's made a lot of money, but his career isn't. I thought he was gonna be the face of the league.
And I don't know how many are going to Toronto, but outside of the Canadians. Oh, you probably wouldn't get another Canadian on the NBA team. I'll tell you that much.
I can't front. You a single man. Toronto got them things there, man. I can't lie. Toronto got them things. It's the problem is it's freaking cold, man. Javon, you know where you're at? How far is the drive to Toronto? How far is that drive? 8 hours?
I don't think it's 8. 8 would be.
No, it's not 8.
Hold on.
I did 9 hours from Boston one time to Toronto. 10 hours, I think.
For me to get to Rogers Center, if I left right now, it would take 4 hours.
You talking about you getting more snow right now? I'm definitely not going to Toronto. I'm definitely not going to Toronto. Beautiful. In the summertime, if I could play for the Jays and I was a single man, I'll go to Toronto. But I don't want to play in the wintertime going to Toronto. It's just not, it's not lively. But I see your point is maybe they could rotate. I just think we have to change the draft because tanking. And again, baseball.
Just give us the lottery.
Why does the NFL don't have this problem with tanking?
Because they don't have the lottery. So you don't have this false hope that you can get number one. It's either you really do stink, or hey, we're bad, but we might as well try to win some games because we're not going to be number one.
And I think in football, it's such a physical
there's
sport.
Just more impact players that you can get in the first 2 rounds in football than you can in basketball.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter if you can get a really good quarterback at 5 if you don't get one.
You got a 55-man roster. 53 play on game day, 32 teams, so many different positions to be filled. Opposed to a basketball team where the more turnover you have, the worse your team is. So
okay, I see. Get a lot of worse team. But then you had teams for the last couple of years purposely doing that. That's why they got rid of. Remember the process?
And when they keep missing out, that's on them.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well,
they would learn eventually. Trust me.
Yeah, we got to change something up.
What's next?
Oh, so the Baltimore Orioles signed Chris Bassett, who was 11-9 with 3.96 ERA for Toronto last season. Damn, did he play in the postseason? I can't remember. But what's your thoughts about this signing?
Yeah, speaking of Toronto, right? It does nothing for me. You're still hoping Bradish is healthy, and you are living on a prayer that Tyler Rogers is what he was last season, which was half a year. His 2 years before that were not encouraging whatsoever. Shane Baz, I'm supposed to be hyped for. Chris Bassett, I'm supposed to be hyped for. More of the same, bro. Eric DaCosta and Mike Elias. Get both of them out of my life. I got Peter Angelo's gone. I got John Harbaugh. Get DaCosta and Elias out of my life. That's all I'm waiting on. DaCosta and LeBron.
That's it.
But I got my Wizards until LeBron's gone, so I'm cool.
Man, this guy with the Wizards. By the way, I've heard that no contract discussions with Anthony Davis about extension is in the works, which is good.
My Wizards are doing, man. Shout out, what is it, Dawkins?
Dawkins and Winger or something like that. We go into the baseball season right now. Toronto, Yankees, Boston are better than your Orioles in that order. And any 3 of those teams, reverse order, could make the playoffs, not make the playoffs. But I'm pretty confident you guys will be a borderline playoff team if you make it in the wild card. I do not think the Baltimore Orioles win that division. And don't sleep on Tampa, because Tampa
We know who
always
the
has
Rays are. Yeah.
yeah, they always have a trick up their sleeve. So it's gonna be a tough year. It's gonna be tough. This division is really good.
They squandered their window. As simple as that.
Yeah, they didn't capitalize on that, but they still got a lot of young players.
I got you with this right here. Mark DeRosa calls Bobby Witt to get him on the WBC team for this year. And Bobby's question. Sorry, right? Oh, absolutely. Like, God, you ain't even in the conversation with Bobby Witt no more. Come on.
There's that ship has sailed. It's gone. It's not even close. I don't even think
his best bet is to move permanently to third base if he wants to be the best at something.
Yeah, when I think about the shortstop, I think about Bobby Witt first. I don't think about anyone else second right now. I really don't. Bobby Witt's that guy.
Ridiculous. All right, Sean. So hard to say goodbye. My boy Chris Paul retired.
I was trying to think of a top 5 list the other day when he retired, and this is my list, my personal list.
No, he's not a top 5 point guard. No,
I don't. But this is my top. This is where I rank him. So, Magic, Steph, Isaiah, Oscar, because we put Oscar as a point.
I go Oscar and Jerry.
Oscar. Oh, you put Jerry there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So my list, I put him as a 2, and then I would do Stockton,
Kid,
and Paul. So he's the top 7 point guard. So
that's 8 for me, 7 for you.
Yeah, 7 for me. So great career. Never won the title. Didn't like that at the end of his career he was just bouncing from team to team, because he was still very productive. I just don't get it.
He did great things for OKC and Phoenix and San Antonio.
They
all brought him in to mentor their young guys, and he did exactly what they needed him to do.
Exactly.
And he overachieved in Phoenix.
Absolutely. So I think we'll remember him where he stand one of the great last true in this league, last true point guard. So maybe that'd be his defining moment. Didn't win the title, but
Halliburton's trying to bring it back.
Oh, Hallie can do it. Hallie's probably the last hope we have right now, or current hope right now. Even though I really love Fleming from Houston.
And your man Collier's racking up double doubles.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll see how it goes, the point guard position. But yeah, I just think, what if with him, those Clipper teams, that Rocket injury.
They never got them a small forward.
Yeah. But it's just but you think about it, he was close in the NBA Finals. The first 2 games, I don't know what happened after the last 4 games.
And then with the Rockets.
Rockets, and then the Clippers.
Injury, yeah, and then with the Suns, Drew Holiday just took over and took him and Devin Booker out the game.
If you would have told me 10 years ago, would it have been Steph or Chris who would have been the guys, I would have been like, oh, that Clippers team is up next. The Clippers are going to be what Golden State turned into. And they never did. And then I still think his best chance to win the title was that Game 7, that year against the Warriors. Yeah. They were better than they were better than the Warriors. They wanted that smoke. They wanted to be like, yo, we're gonna, and they were hungrier than the Warriors that year. Just what if? That's what I was saying.
Well, the thing was, they finally had someone to get the ball out of James Harden's hands.
Yeah, so they could
That's
trust.
all it was.
Yep. But we'll say great career. I definitely probably going to do broadcasting or something like that. And I like what I just thought it was dirty how the Clippers did him. But
going to the hall as a Hornet. Don't go in as a Clipper.
Yeah, exactly. Just go as a Hornet.
Hornet, Pelican, whatever he's going to classify it as.
No,
I think he counts as a Pelican.
No, he's a Clipper, man. This is what it is. You can't change
hold
that.
on. Let's not disrespect what Chris Paul did with the New Orleans Hornets. Sean, do not.
No, he was special.
If there was any 2 guards I feared in the Western Conference at that point in time, it was Chris Paul and Darren Williams. Those are the only 2 guards I worried about in the West. I knew Kobe had the rest taken care of. Them 2, I wanted no parts of. Rookie of the year. By his 3rd year, he was number 2 in MVP voting, Sean. 4th year, 5th in MVP voting. 1st team all defense, 2nd team all NBA. Fifth year All-Star, sixth year All-Star, third team All-NBA, second team All-Defense. Then with the Clippers, he got all them. Damn, 6 straight first team All-Defenses with the Clippers. My goodness. And 5 straight top 7 MVP votes. Yeah. He had a great year with the He had a great career with the Clippers. I ain't gonna say that. He played one more year than he did with the Hornets. But that's what the Clippers did to you. Go on.
The thing is, with the same smoke you gave Chris Paul, or you give LeBron for changing teams to Kevin Durant, you got to give Chris Paul. He had a good thing. He could have built it in New Orleans, but he wanted to go to the Clippers.
He wanted to go to the
Lakers, excuse me. He had a good thing.
And then the NBA owners traded him to the Clippers.
Well, because he wanted to get out. But they had West, they had young Trevor Ariza, they had Tyson Chandler. He could have built something. They just needed a wing in New Orleans. They had Monty Williams as the coach.
They're about to break it all down. Have we forgotten?
Oh, because of the ownership situation?
He wanted to leave because they're about to break it all down.
Okay, all right. So I forgot about that piece. That's a major piece.
I'm going to play with Kobe.
That wouldn't have worked.
You don't think so?
Nah. Those personalities.
He finally had somebody to get the ball. That's 2 guys who wanted to win. I'm telling them 2, they loved each other at the All-Star games and in the Olympics. You listen to them 2 talk about each other, them 2 would have been. Now, I don't know how much their teammates would have loved them. That'd have been a lot to deal with. Boy,
I would not.
I'm gonna be honest with you, somebody would have started smoking cigarettes. You would have been going home stressed, dealing with Chris Paul and Kobe Bryant.
Yeah, I couldn't do my personality. I couldn't deal with it.
There was no good cop, bad cop. It was just Ooh.
That would have been ugly. I'll say this for the last part of the show, but I was gonna say something about I'll say about Wemby. I gotta make a note for myself. But keep going.
All right. Down goes number 1. Yeah, Arizona suffered his first 2 losses of the season last week. Upset by Kansas. And then lost in overtime to Texas Tech despite Koa Pete missing the second half. They bounced back last night against that BYU team we've already spoken about. Charles Barkley called it the Arizona Invitational. Michigan has something to say about that. Your thoughts?
Duke, Michigan State. It's not gonna be as. It did look like an invitational a couple of weeks ago, so I can't be mad at Charles. And Charles is on TV like every other week now or something, every 3 weeks. I don't remember the last time
I think they're on every week from now until the tournament, and then after the tournament, we'll see them all the time. Yeah, come on.
I can't deal with this. I gotta be honest.
Perkins, Malika Andrews in the studio.
I just don't like.
I'm cool.
I like Wendy. I like his podcast, but I can't really deal with this whole NBA coverage. I have not gotten used to it this year of how it's been working. I'm just not a big fan of Amazon, NBC. I'm just confused, but whatever. And I'm a sports guy. So I would say this. Arizona is still my favorite to win the national championship. It's probably good. Sometimes, ever since the Patriots lost that Super Bowl, I always think about things like this. Of course, you want to go undefeated, but what's the goal? Goal is to win the Natty, right? Or the Super Bowl, whatever you're in it. Maybe this is what they need. It's really hard to win a national championship. It's the toughest tournament to me. Yeah, it's the toughest tournament in sports to win a championship in. So yeah, I'm not mad. That's when we fill out brackets. I'm telling you right now, Arizona's going to be in my Final Four.
Arizona right now will be in my Final Four.
Okay,
and
so
I don't know who my 4th team is. Right?
You got 3 already. Cool. That's it. I'm not worried about Arizona, and they're going to be my favorites to win the national championship. We'll see how it plays out. See how the brackets, how I feel in a month or so. Because they keep playing bad, then it's a totally different conversation. But right now, it's still the Arizona Invitational. But Michigan and Duke are really for more points.
And they didn't look bad against Texas Tech. I will put they did not look bad against Texas Tech.
No, they wasn't going to go undefeated.
A lot worse against Kansas. Yeah, like
it wasn't going to go undefeated.
Exactly. Getting punched in the mouth is good for them, and they play in the best. They're still the best team in the best conference in basketball.
Not even close. Definitely, 100%. I'm not worried about them. They're gonna be in the Final Four.
All right, so we got some staff changes in the NFL. So The Seahawks, to replace Clint Kubiak, went and got the 49ers tight end / running game coordinator. The Raiders Kubiak brought his quarterbacks coach along with him to the Raiders. And then the Cowboys, so they've already had their DC, but they just went and announced yesterday or 2 days ago that they are switching to a 3-4. I'll let you start off with whichever one you want to start with. You know which one I got two I want to focus on, but I'll let you go ahead and start first.
So Seattle going out of the tree, out of the building, find the OC. I was kind of surprised by that. But he's kind of from the Kubiak tree. I read it right when it happened, so forgive me. But
he's in San Francisco, so he's from that tree.
Okay, San Francisco. Okay, so he's in that, the Shanahan Kubiak's tree. So, all right, I was just surprised they didn't want to keep someone in the building. So it just kind of brings up antennas like, you had this successful run with the guys in the building. That always brings up thoughts in my mind. You clearly went outside the organization to bring someone in. So that's one. Two, I don't like there's no perfect system unless you just wait and freeze everything to after the season. I don't like these coaching hires this late because I feel like you're scrambling for OCs, DC.
Season programs yet.
The rate,
the colleges that are hiring people this late, I have a problem with, and losing people this late. I feel bad for. Man, NFL Super Bowl 2 weeks ago.
But there was 8 guys who got coaching jobs before right? 8 or 7 guys before Kubiak was able to get his pick.
I do think you shouldn't be able to contact anyone until after the Super Bowl. Give everyone a chance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
The Super Bowl champion is always going to lose a good portion of his stake. So I think just like how we should be waiting until after the championship for these. I'm like, you shouldn't be able to fire your coach or anything until after the championship.
How about this? You can hire your head coach through this cycle, but you cannot hire any staff and people will have conversations behind the scenes. I know that, but I can come. It's like the NIL. Pete Golden could go behind someone's back, but like, hey, I know you have a deal, but I'll give you $2 million to be my OC or whatever the case may be. I think the staff should not be able to be filled out. Go get your head coach, but just staff, because there's a lot to put families in limbo, because there's a lot of families who's involved with this. Like, if you don't know where you're going to be working next season, I do say you cannot. Once the coach is in place, you can start having back channel conversations. You have an idea, and then make it official after like a week after the Super Bowl. I think
that ain't changed anything because you still wouldn't already lost your guy. Just they've been announced. That means nothing. Yeah, that kind of makes no sense to me, Sean. You're saying no, well, they're going to talk to him anyway, but just for formality and visual purposes.
But they do that in every sport. The NBA free agency is not free agency. We already know the deals were already made. Why is free agency deals being announced at 12 o'clock when it is announced? They've been talking for a week.
Oh yeah, we know that. But the player hasn't been talking to those teams. The agent has. The agent can talk to whoever he wants.
I don't believe that.
But I mean, no, the
agent
lays the message to the player, of course. But still,
yeah. But the agent works for the player too.
Yeah. So I would just say, and some said that a couple of days ago, I'm like, some of these players need to start reminding the agents that the agents work for them and they don't work for the agent.
Exactly.
Where am I going with this? But yeah, I gotta say, after Super Bowl for all staff, including coaches. For Seattle, a run game coordinator, you won because your play caller specializes in making the game easier for quarterbacks. You'll get George Kittle's position coach, who didn't even specialize in the pass game. Y'all are setting up Sam Darnold to be a one-hit wonder. So I don't know how I'm feeling about Seattle repeating. That might be the Rams conference next year.
I have no Sam Darnold, or I can't say anything negative to Sam Darnold for a whole year. So you say, I saw it, keep my mouth shut.
But not too confident right now.
But don't you think it's just weird they didn't hire someone in staff, in house?
I got no problem with that. My whole thing was just as long as you keep someone from the Shanahan coaching tree, but it has to be a quarterback specialist. And they did not get that. That is where my concern is.
Okay.
Like with McDonald, hey, you were familiar with T. Martin. He might not be from that tree. But at least get him in there. I don't know. And by the way, yeah, so the Bills quarterback's coach is black. The Ravens quarterback's coach is black. Those the last 2 MVPs. All the white boys getting OC jobs. And those 2 are stuck in limbo right
now.
Yeah, ain't gonna say nothing. And then with Dallas. How long have I been saying they need to switch to a 3-4?
Yes, since we probably starting the show.
Did not have the linebackers to be in the 4-3. And could not stop the run. And you had a Swiss Army knife in Micah Parsons. In this world of simulated pressures, when you had him and DeMarcus Lawrence, that was your best chance to go 3-4. Because you could have had Micah drop out and have one of your stand-up guys blitzing and just been confusing offenses left and right. They could have got real creative with their scheme. And now it's too, you wait till Micah's gone and those pieces kind of don't exist anymore. Williams and Grant will have fun inside. They'll be great for the 3-4. They'll be hard to run against the Cowboys. Don't know where the outside rush is coming from, but it's too late. It's too late. And this is Schottenheimer can't control. He just got the job. This is going to be his second year on the job. What's the DC's name? Chris Harper or something like that? His first year on the job. He's got nothing to do with that. But if I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm pissed. Like, man, this is what we should have been running 6 years ago.
How can I put this? They did play better when they made the trades, right? I do think Dallas, they're going to have cap space.
Well, they got to be better off to have cap space.
Oh, maneuvering, okay. But shout out to Kansas City. Always, I don't know what Mahomes is getting behind the scenes, but it's a great $43 million in cap space. Tip my cap to Kansas.
Convert it to like a signing bonus kind of sort of. It's like, all right, listen, we'll just pay you all this up front. It won't come out salary cap. And
Dallas need to do that from Dak, especially getting Pickens back. But yeah, Dallas is gonna be better off without Micah. I gotta be honest. They are.
I mean, just culture-wise.
Yeah, culture-wise, and then I do think we could crap on Jerry for a lot of things, but he knows how to. Those guys know how to pick plays in Dallas. They do. I think they know how to pick players. He gets in the way of meddling with coaching and stuff like that, but his track record of picking players is really good.
Of drafting, yeah. Hey, shout out to Marcus Lawrence, by the way. Yeah, like you straight up told Mike that you weren't doing all that tweeting. You care a little bit more about winning. Maybe I still be in Dallas. Maybe we both still be in Dallas and actually accomplishing something. He went and got his ring this first year without Mike.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Mike needs to
worry
be
about
quiet.
all the wrong stuff. You want that Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp for? Shut up.
Yeah, just focus on football. I heard Michael Irvin said that Super Bowl was bad this year and stuff like that, but I don't want to hear that from an active player. Michael Irvin can say that. You can talk about the city too.
You next to Myles Garrett. I can even watch that. I mean, when I saw them clips, I just had to keep scrolling. I'm like, buddy. What you trying to brag about? He has stack record in the trophy. Right here in your face. What is there to talk about? Shut up.
Yo, I can't lie. I'm waving Myles Garrett off as well. He's best defense player in the league by far. But
he's right there with Giannis. Yeah.
Yeah, you got Coach.
And guess what franchise they play for?
Yeah,
they might be the hoops.
Yeah.
They might say, hey, I did this and got money out of Jimmy. Oh, well, I did this. Let me try. All right, let me try that. Let me try that. They might be in cahoots. That person playing name on it.
I do not want to hear, because I know it's going to come when they're bad again next season. Oh, I want to play for a winner. No, you wanted the money. Be happy with the money. That's it. That's all I'm going to say about Myles Garrett. That's all I'm going to say.
All right. Sacramento season-ending surgeries for Zach LaVine and DeMontis Sabonis.
Not surprised. That horrible organization needs to be having a top 5 pick.
Yeah, I mean, you can go and get some in the top 10 this year, but yeah, do something with it. And I don't know how they're going to move their assets. They're just stuck in a bad spot for years.
Yeah, they got to. But I don't want to do the Eli. But if I'm one of these dads or one of these agents,
if I'm one of these players, damn that.
I don't want to play in Sacramento. I don't want to play in Sacramento. It's a abyss, and yeah, so the league, that's one of those organizations the league has to look at, but like, is this being run properly? I don't care how much money the guy has. Is it being run properly?
Yeah,
Simple
like
as that.
Sacramento should be a graveyard. You go there for your career to die. What Russell Westbrook going through right now, that's what the Kings should be good for, and that's it. You just go there to end your career.
That's it. DeRozan, Russ, oh, that combination.
I mean, because Zach LaVine, you tell me he's going to opt out of $49 million next year?
Hell no.
He's going to
getting that
so
anyway.
you're stuck with him for another year. DeRozan doesn't expire until the same time. So you got a whole nother season of this. And then you got to trade Malik Monk because he's going to be 21% player option after next year.
Sabonis, whoever I get.
Got to trade Sabonis because he's $45 million next year and $48 the year after.
Yeah, you need to get into that whole Brooklyn Nets mode or OKC mode. You need to be trading. People need to be. You need to get off your bad contracts, and you need to be able to absorb bad contracts just for draft capital. That's what they need to do. Like that's Memphis and Sacramento. That's what they should be doing for the next couple of years and accumulate. And whoever they're going to get in the top 10 needs to be the guy they focus their whole future. I love what Dallas is doing. Kyrie, I think Kyrie's going to be gone. I don't think it makes sense. Kyrie's not on the same timeline as Cooper. Trade Kyrie or let him play at the beginning of the year, build his value up, trade him. You got to build around the kid. You got to build around whoever Sacramento gets. That's the franchise.
It's just Sacramento. You got to get the Sabonis, DeRozan, and Monk out here right now. I don't know why you even went out and got DeAndre Hunter. More Keegan Murray before he becomes $24 million a year. Since you got DeAndre Hunter now. So I'm not even about to talk about how to fix the Kings. It's just because they're not going to do it. It's simple.
I know. 3 years ago, they were third in the West. Crazy. Seems like forever.
Squandered.
Yep. Real quick. Well, one last thing I have to say before we go. Do you think Victor is trying really too hard to be the face of the NBA?
No. He's just out there playing. No, the face of the NBA conversation is a media thing. Why we got? Can I watch one interview with Ant Edwards? Should we not asking him about it? He does not care. They should not care.
He don't care. Ant is. He says it all the time. They got Victor. Why don't you mean?
It's not a player thing. They are there to just play basketball. That's it.
That boy do not care. That's the best thing you said. Well, that's the way he be acting on interviews and swearing and stuff like that. He don't not care about any of that at all.
Ridiculous.
Simple as that. But I would say this: would the NBA love for Victor to win an NBA title within the next year or two? Absolutely. And that team, I love the way they set up that team in San Antonio. That team, even with Fox, that team will win a title within the next 5 years.
Easy. Let's see. Yeah. Kyrie's missing the rest of this year. So get your draft pick Dallas. You see Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano are going to fight.
Why?
It made its way to the MMA. What are we doing? And guess who's promoting it?
Who?
Jake Paul. Most valuable promotions.
My boy Jake, man.
Your boy.
Oh, I like. One thing I would give Jake. That boy knows how to print money.
Yeah,
he knows how to sell something. I'll give him that. He knows how to print money. He knows and attention is currency. He knows how to do that.
But what else is going on? Yeah, I think that might be it.
Real quick, do you think Kyrie gets traded before he returns?
Oh, in the offseason, yeah, he's gone. And hey, Klay Thompson, you so happy, my brother. Go ahead and retire. You got it made in life right now, boy. Go ahead, man. Go sit home and enjoy that woman. I mean, that brother, you don't see him in a bad mood. He can go out there and shoot 2 for 11, Sean. He ain't gonna care. That brother is happy in life, and I'm happy for him.
Yeah, it's time. It's Klay. It's time for Klay. Yo, one last thing. I did hear a great comparison about Conker Nipple. They were like, he's a mixture of Klay and Steph Curry. And I was like, I thought about it. Because he's not a bad defender, but he's not a great defender. Steph Curry's not a bad defender, as people think. Like, he can hold his own, and he's not as great of a shooter as Steph, but he's not as great. It's like a good middle ground.
No, there is no stuff about him.
I play off.
What shots does he create for himself? When have you seen him cross, pull up from 35? What are we talking about? Yo, these comparisons are getting out of hand, man. We can't just say Colin Kaepernick was a great off-ball shooter and leave it at that.
He is the great off-ball shooter. Yo, listen, I really like what they're building now in Charlotte. It's right there. I'm gonna have to go see Unc and go to a game. It's 3 hours away.
July 16th for me this year is when I'll be in Charlotte. So we'll coordinate that.
Let's coordinate. I'll definitely that's one of my birthdays. So I'm about to pull up to Charlotte. We gotta coordinate that.
That's a quick drive from Atlanta.
Oh, yes, 3 hours. Right up the street. But I like what they're building out there. 3.5, yeah, maybe 3. Yeah, it's close. It's mad close.
I thought it was less than that.
No, it's 3. But 3 hours is not nothing bad. But I do think that I love what they're building down there in Charlotte. Like, I like the little culture they're building down there.
All right, well, hey, NBA's back tonight. Finish the season strong, and this is where we're going to see teams out there ready to play.
What's the second half like storyline or something to look out for? Or what do you think is going to happen? A forecast.
I want to see if James Harden get Cleveland to the conference final.
We're on the same page. I was like, more I think about it and the way they were playing the last couple of weeks.
It's just what he does for big men.
Yeah, that too, but now he doesn't miss. I have to give him this credit. He plays.
Yeah,
that boy doesn't miss games. So let's see. Now they have their real core 4 all the time. I think they might. It might be them and Detroit as the favorites going into the postseason.
Knicks and Pistons tonight is a big one because the Pistons have whooped the Knicks' ass the first 2 times this season. And this is their last time playing each other. Knicks got to come out with a win to prove to themselves Detroit hasn't surpassed them.
I gotta be honest. Any team with Cat, I think the Knicks is soft. I can't, and I think Cat's soft. I think Cat is soft, man. And I'm not a big Knick guy. More people are than I am. I'm not a Knick guy at all. I'm taking Boston. I'm taking Detroit.
And we got it. Does Tatum come back? That's another one. Traded for Zubac. That's one of them. You just feel like he's on the way.
Yeah, exactly. So I like those. I'm taking those 3 teams. And my team at the beginning of the year, Philadelphia, they get healthy. I'm gonna leave it like that. Top end talent, they're top 7.
Philly in the same conversation.
Listen, if Embiid was healthy, he'll be in the MVP conversation. He's been that good. He's been that good. Come on, he's been that.
No. I'm not arguing that.
Okay.
Then we're going to stop saying if healthy in Embiid.
Listen, the way they're doing it right now. I need to get into the playoffs as a 6th seed or a 5th seed. That's all I need.
I'm gonna say it again. Why do we keep trying to count on Joel Embiid to stay healthy?
So you're saying the way he's playing right now, he has been healthy because they've been managing it correctly. He gets into the postseasons every other day. He's playing every 2 days.
I don't want to hear nothing about him in the playoffs either.
That team's scared. That top end talent, that top 8 could compete with any top 8 in the East.
Oh man, Sean falling for the Sixers. I never thought I'd see the day you fell into that trap.
Listen, you had a bit of a bold prediction. The East is so wide open. One thing I would say, I'll be really surprised if Detroit makes the NBA Finals. I'll leave it at that.
Oh yeah, they're not going. No,
they don't have enough shooting. They don't have enough playmaking outside of K to make it to NBA Finals.
And he's been flipping.
Yeah, they don't have enough. That's the team. That's why. I'm taking Cleveland, Boston, and Philly over Detroit. Simple as that.
All right.
If Boston, excuse me, with Jason Tatum. By the way.
All right. Well, we'll be back next week. And ready to really dive into the second half of the NBA season. It's really not the second half because they play like 50-something before the break, but whatever. We're out of here.
We're out.